to the Heritage Day weekend, and I know a lot of you will be getting together with family and friends for braais and picnics, and it's such gorgeous weather. So what I'm making today is actually not part of my heritage at all. It is American, but I think it's a lovely party food. I'm making my own light brioche buns, I've made some pulled chicken, and I'm making a creamy slaw. Now, it's time with your friends and family. Do enjoy it. There's nothing wrong in having a samosa too. There's nothing wrong in having a burger. It's knowing when to stop when you've had enough. I believe in having a balanced diet, and what works for one person may not work for someone else. So I eliminate things with flour from Monday to Friday, but when it comes to Friday night, I like to have a burger or a wrap because that works for me. Now, for some people, rice is too heavy and bread works for them, and that's okay.
I'm using my Kenwood slow cooker in making my pulled chicken. So the secret of a good pulled chicken is for it to cook on a very slow, low heat. So there's two settings, there's the low and the high. If you put it on low, it's going to take 7 hours to pull, and if you put it on the high, it'll take between 3 to 4 hours. So I'm going to put it on the high for 3 to 4 hours. And I have 4 rather large chicken fillets that I'm going to put in. And then I've got 1 onion chopped, 1 medium-sized onion. I've got 2 teaspoons garlic flakes. I've got 2 teaspoons fresh garlic chopped, a spoon of brown sugar. I've got 1/3 cup of white balsamic, 2 teaspoons smoked paprika, 2 teaspoons black pepper. I've got 5 tablespoons tomato sauce, and I've got 2 teaspoons of salt. And this is the most easiest thing, because all you do now in your slow cooker is just mix all of this up and put the lid on, and you just forget about it for 3 to 4 hours. And then I'm going to just shred the chicken, toast my rolls, and make a lovely slaw that goes with it. So you can see all I've done is coated the chicken and all the ingredients that I've just put in. Later on, I'm going to bake them. Okay, so that's whisked up very easily. Over here in my KitchenAid, I've got 3 cups of plain flour. Into it, I'm going to add in 2.5 tablespoons, 1 packet of instant yeast, and I'm going to beat an egg into it. So I'm making the dough now, and then later on, I'm going to let it rise. And then my pulled chicken is in the Kenwood slow cooker and it's getting done. But I thought about making my own brioche buns. So over here, I've got 1 cup water, 3 tablespoons of milk, 2 tablespoons of sugar, butter, and I'm going to add in 1.5 teaspoons of salt. And I'm just going to mix it so it kind of forms breadcrumbs, and then I'm going to put this mixture in here, breadcrumbs, and then I'm going to put this mixture in here, and basically you let this whole mixture rise, and you knead it down for 8 minutes, and then you let the whole mixture rise for around 1 to 3 hours, and then you roll them out into buns and bake them with a little bit of an egg wash and some sesame seeds. I always know when my dough is doing well when on the KitchenAid the actual dough gets stuck onto the hook. The dough has been kneading for the last 7 minutes, and so I'm going to just switch it off and release. And you can see that the dough is like really squidgy, and so this dough really does have a real velvety texture to it. It's so soft, and I can already feel that once these rolls are going to be baked, these brioche buns are going to be extra stuffed and very, very tasty. So I've put them in a test cookware bowl. I'm going to put the lid on, and I'm going to put it in a warm place in my kitchen for the dough to rise. I've left my dough to rise for a few hours and it's doubled in size. So what I'm going to do now is just knead it down and then make between 6 to 8 rolls. What I usually do is make it into one big ball and then make a line in half, a line across. So you've got it in quarters and then over, so you should get 8 equal portions. So I'm just going to slice them up and then make them into balls. So each section or eighth gets rolled into a ball and then put onto the tray. From this recipe you get 8 rolls, and I'm going to now put an egg wash on each of them so they have like this lovely golden colour on the top. I've got some black sesame seeds from Woolworths and I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit on each. You can actually put whatever you want or keep them plain as well. I'm also going to give a little bit of pink sea salt on the top as well. The pink sea salt's on, and I'm just going to let these rolls now just rise for another half an hour, and then I'll put them in a preheated oven at 180 for around 20 minutes. The rolls have been resting for half an hour and they've doubled in size, but clearly I haven't got the right sizes. So we've got Father Bear, we've got Mother Bear rolls, we've got the first child. So the rolls now go into the oven at 180 degrees for 15 to 20 minutes, and we'll see how they come out. So I'm going to put like half a tub in. I've got some Worcestershire sauce, oops, that goes in. Now I always use creamed cottage cheese when I'm making things that are creamy and mayonnaisey, because cottage cheese is a good source of protein and it's very low in fat. I've got 1 carrot and I've got half a green cabbage and half red cabbage, and that all goes in. Teaspoon of that, and I'm going to put in some Himalayan salt, and I'm going to put in some pepper. I think this is pretty thick, so I'm going to go into it, and I'm just going to mix it all in. Now, you got to taste how this goes according to your own palate. Everybody's palates are different. So see how it comes together. And if you feel it needs a little bit more seasoning, put in some more seasoning. If you want to add a little bit of heat, then you can actually put in some paprika. If you want to have a little bit more tanginess, then maybe put in some vinegar. So I leave it up to you, but basically for my slaw, this is like the base. And I put the lid on and into the fridge. So excited, 20 minutes later, and wow, look at these babies. Look like proper burger rolls. Lovely. I'm gonna take them out and let them cool completely. So what I do to check if my rolls are done is turn them over and hit at the back and check if there is like a hollow sound, and there is. And I'm just gonna let them cool down completely. Don't they look magnificent? Alhamdulillah. So, using my Kenwood slow cooker, it's time to see my chicken, and it smells glorious and smoky with the paprika and like barbecue kind of flavor to it. I'm just gonna keep it in here, but shred it inside with some forks and a knife. Just using a fork and a knife, I'm just going to shred it as much as and it kind of just falls apart, and then you have these like stringy chickeny bits. So a few minutes just to show you. It's nice and I used 4 chicken fillets, and there's so much of it. So we're going to have some today, and then, you know, if you do this on a Friday, there's like tons left over for the weekend for wraps, and kids are always hungry, especially over the long weekend and stuff. And, you know, you have some of this, and it's great to put in a roll or a wrap. Or if you did this for a meal prep with some brown rice and, you know, in a Tupperware, this could last for a few days. Just using the same ingredients, and it's so good. I've got my pulled chicken, and it's so flavorful. You've got that barbecue feeling to it because of the smoked paprika and the brown sugar and the balsamic vinegar. Simple ingredients. It was just cooking. In the interim, lovely home brioche rolls. I've got a lovely creamy slaw, but using fat-free cottage cheese, and I've got some greens. So what I do is make sure your rolls are really cooled down, because then you can slice into them. And I like to put a few greens. A little bit of this chicken over here. The slaw on the top. And you have a delicious, fresh, homemade slider pulled chicken roll. Great for a Friday night. Tons left over for the weekend, and great for a Heritage Day weekend for braais and picnics. Healthy living equates to a healthy lifestyle. Time to eat. I can't wait to get stuck into this. Shaz eats.